Happy Sunday morning, y'all. Happy writing Glimmers. It's been a while since we've done vlogs about daily writing things. I won't be doing daily, but let's check in, because things have not been so glimmery as of late.
Empty hearts and neon lights, they're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking, oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver, no more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar, bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. La 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 la, oh, oh. Get me out of broken hearts and starting fights, turning truth to lies. Gotta get up, stop wasting time. Yeah, I wanna run off and fly.
Whew. I just wrapped up doing the Sunday Scaries with our membership area. So if you want to, or you are a part of our membership area for Soul Bards, or whether or not you are thinking about joining in, or you might receive a freebie for a month here in a little bit, because the next time I go live publicly, I'll release probably 10 freebies for the month like I normally do. On the Sunday Scaries, a couple of Sundays a month, I'll go ahead and run a sprint style live stream. I encourage you to work on whatever you're working on, but during that time, normally I'm doing things that make Sunday evening and going into Monday less scary. In teacher land, the Sunday Scaries were panic attacks, extreme illness, all numbers of things that teachers and healthcare professionals tend to feel the night before the start of their, quote, Monday. I had the Sunday Scaries badly as an educator. It's actually one of the reasons why I refused to go back and teach in a brick and mortar building, unless I was like a guest speaker giving a collegiate kind of lecture as an author. I've done that twice. Thank you very much. It's such a joy to be on that side of the table. At the same time, being a high school English teacher in West Virginia, in some of the poorest counties and school districts, not just in the state of West Virginia, two of the counties I taught in physical buildings for in West Virginia were in the top 50 most rural and poverty-stricken school districts in the United States. That is not a badge of honor, as everyone said when I was hired at both schools. And mind you, a lot of my students teaching juniors and seniors developmental reading, writing, creative writing, a lot of what I was doing in those 3 or 4 classes I had, I was trying to get kids who had 3rd, 4th, 5th grade reading and writing ability. Like, legit, unless you read it out loud to them and then broke down every paragraph, they could not follow you through a full chapter of some things that are required reading text for high schoolers. And those of my friends who are teachers, hello, I see you. Thank you for what you do as your second marking period kicks up into the second half of your first semester. Thank you for what you do. I was expected, to close the gap from a third grade reading level to at least high school. All of you who teach developmental reading, writing, and math know you're lucky if you reclaim 2 to 3 levels per year. Makes sense to me. 1 to 2 skills a semester, you'll get towards mastering that at a higher grade level. Got it. That makes total sense to me. That's like asking me, somebody who has dyscalculia, so I read numbers backwards, 5s, 3s, 8s, and 0s are my enemy sometimes. But at the same time, I also forget, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, I will never do her order of operations in the correct order because my brain will be like, yeah, what? Huh? And it doesn't help that the same concept was taught to me 3 different ways, and 2 of the 3 were wrong, and I'm not sure which 2 of the 3 at this point. Yes. Welcome to what it's like having math issues and not having great math teachers. And a lot of you are feeling that from either one side or the other, and a lot of the students I worked with, ironically, are business owners today. Now, mind you, the businesses they run are in things like auto mechanics, auto repair, landscaping, chimney repair, services that are needed. But a bunch of them came out of the woodwork and they were like, thank you for taking the time to tell me that if I started a business, also consider taking 1 or 2 semesters of college level or technical writing English classes. They helped me understand contracts so much better. At that point, that's all I could do is get them as far as I could. So, yeah. Okay, anyway, Sunday Scaries. I'm pulling a Rosen Island here. I'm trying to wield 2 stories at once. And Dorothy would admit I'm not doing a great job. Anyway, reeling it all back in because that was a ramble. Whew. Video editor, deal with this how you would. Probably going to 2x that. But Sunday Scaries are anything you need to do to kind of get your Sundays feeling better for the week ahead. So during our stream, we have been working through The Sims 4. And I've been playing as my character Neftiri. We are treating her as like doing this be a best-selling author challenge thing. Like they got to pick the challenge and what we did a little bit. We do that, and in between playing Sims and letting her do stuff autonomously for long swaths of time, I'm cleaning house and doing whatever. And this weekend, they got to see me put together my outfit for the Baltimore Fairy Fair. My 6 outfits for the Baltimore Fairy Fair. Oh, that's going to be a vlog. So, weekend 1 to the start of Rough Draft Challenge or whatever November writing shtick you're doing is nigh, and I think it's time for me to write an adventurous story. What are my goals? The bard hat is amazing, is it not? My bonus mom in Maine made it for me. I told her I needed a foppishly witchy woo-woo bardic hat to make a pirate queen proud, and she said, well, you did take your writing last name in homage of one Grace O'Malley, so I'll do her proud, and boy did she. This is my favorite part. The flames underneath. So I have a headband that has feathers that'll come down with, so it'll accentuate that, and she didn't know I was doing that. But anyway, I have my bard hat on. Let's talk bard stuff, shall we? So what are my goals for this November? Back in 2023, for what was then NaNoWriMo, I started the really poor Zero draft that was loosely skeletalized together of Vitae Elangica. Vitae Elangica. The vital life force that connects us all is literally what the title of that video game and trilogy mean. It is the mini-series that goes alongside Season 2 of the Myrna Annals. Frey, of course, shows up as a couple times in a cameo. And writing this book has been, whoa. I basically had to rewrite the entire second half of the book, and during Double Down Day yesterday, between the amazing co-stream that Sarah was so graciously including myself, Jody Jean, and Angela as co-hosts for, I went ahead and not only got through the second half of the 20 chapters that I need to get to record in Bard mode, but I also figured out the last 10 chapters of the book, so the first half of this month is going to be all about finishing up those chapters. I'm aiming for a chapter a day. That's what I did in April's Rough Draft Challenge, and a little bit in July's Rough Draft Challenge, and oh my goodness, did I complete so many cool things. I actually completed 2 full novellas doing that. My hope is, once I get back from the Fairy Fair, I had hoped to take this book as an early debut to the Fairy Fair. It's not going to happen. That's okay. I'm taking both Daughter Forever is doing its debut, and Hush Little Baby Krampus. Congratulations to Crohn's for another bestseller. Oh my goodness. Thank you all who make it happen. Description links below. You know where to go. But once I get back from Fairy Fair, I hope to by then have this book done so that I can go ahead and finish up the book my critique partner, Kelly, has been working her way through. Kelly has book 6 out of context, picked it up without reading a single thing beforehand, and I gotta give Kelly some props, because I'm like, you gotta be honest, sweetheart. You gotta tell me where I'm writing this too much for not new people to the series, because like some of the novellas, my hope is to make season 2's first book, Legacy of Hope and... No, that's book 7. Legacy of Lyric and Time. Forgetting my own titles here. Legacy of Lyric and Time. I hope that will be easy to finish, but I hope I'm doing it justice for the new reader more than the continuing reader. My thought process there is, if the newcomer to the Myrna Annals will enjoy that one, or the Crusaders of Luxander Shoals, or any of the novellas I put out, then they're likely to go ahead and join in and be like, okay, I want to know more. What did happen in season 1? So far, the feedback has been exactly that on 2 of the novellas. A bunch of people purchased Pearl and Gold and 6 Weeks But 3 Years at different events I've done over the last couple of months. And they've ended up coming back and buying book 1, put it that way, because they're like, yeah, I finished this over the weekend. They're shorter. You could totally finish them over the weekend if you've got 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there, waiting in lines and stuff. And people were also purchasing it after the events in paperback form. So I'm assuming that's what's happening. My hope is these 2 books that kind of overlap in time frame between the Crusaders of Luxander Shoals for Vita Atlantica and the Legacy of Lyric and Time, I hope to make it seamless. Now, there's also another kink in the mist here. I don't have an actual book cover for one of these 2 books either. Rachel has done the blurb for the Crusaders of Luxander Shoals, which I think I need to iron out one more time, boop it back to Rachel D. Adams. Go check out her services, by the way, and be like, hey, does this make sense now that I totally forgot to finish this because life happened and I got sick over the course of October? Bronchitis sucks. Yes, it's finally leaving my system is what it feels like. On the other hand, I cannot find anybody that, like, I don't want to do a couple on the cover for season 2. Everyone loved the novella covers so much more than season 1's covers. What I'm thinking about doing is maybe instead of symbols, putting the kid that matches the couple from the similar title there. So book 6 is Legacy of Lyric and Time, and then book 5's couple was Harumi and Gorgor with Bound by Lyric and Time, so their kid Corin would be on the cover. Maria and Bovary were in book 4, their kid Sarah Beth should be on the cover of book 7. Then Tayrin is book 8, because Lee and Frey were book 3. The problem is, if I do people, the last 2 covers are going to be different. It won't be a couple, though, is the issue. Because book 9 includes the Ice Twins, a.k.a. Bjorn and Rochelle's eldest set of twins. Marco, a vampire, if you recognize that from a certain vampire movie, Lost Boys. Yes, it's because it's Charlotte Vessel's favorite vampire movie, and Lady Vampire was my inspiration for Rochelle, so everything's come full circle, has it not? But also Victoria, in reference to a song of hers, Victor, haha, and Victor Hugo is a werewolf like her dad. The only way Rochelle can carry her being a vampire, Daddy Bjorn being a werewolf, the only way she can carry a vampire to term is if there is another twin with it. Weirdly, it's just something about her genetics. That if she has a vampire, they're going to be really weak and really sick. Most of them don't make it full term, and the only one that did, Thyra, plays a huge role in book 6, whether we realize it or not. But because of shenanigans in book 6, book 9 is about the twins, Vicky and Marco. I don't want to put just one of them on the cover. Technically, I could put Marco and Vicky's wolf skull there instead. I've thought about that. But then that makes the situation for the cover of book 10 weird for Ian and Neftiri's kids. There's this prophecy that's been lingering over everybody's heads all throughout season 1, and the parents thought they fixed it at the end of book 5. No! It lands square on Elias's shoulders. in book 10. And that's why in the book trailers I put out in the past, you got teased his name in a couple of the book trailers, and he shall be named, and he shall be called Elias. He is the last of the vampire kings for mortals. And you have to read to find out what happens to cause a spin-off series that takes us into the sci-fi future of Myrna with Regolith's relics. 12 books. Thanks, Mama Maggie. It's all your fault. Thanks. So, but I have these 2 books. The Crusaders of Luxander Shoals runs parallel to book 6, like literally. The Crusaders of Luxander Shoals is the human side of what happens when virtual reality is used to bring magic back against the controller of the magical wellsprings, Neftiri's knowing. At the end of book 5, she was kind of made a goddess of the wellspring, quote unquote. Her job is to basically, with the help of somebody on the other side who shall at not this point, spoiler, be named, they're like a lock and key. What happens when the lock and key end up on the wrong side of the door together? And the door is shattered, is kind of the question. So, yeah, Elias, you gotta clean up mommy, daddy, uncle, and everybody's messes, unfortunately. And it starts in the human world first. Because from the human perspective in the Crusader of Luxander Shoals, Andy, Micah, and Craig, they think they're just playing their favorite video game, Vitae Elangica. It's a massively multiplayer online role-playing game. So MMM.org is what a lot of you know that abbreviation to be. And she's used to kind of like how many of us gamers do. I'm going to play around my busy work and life schedule. And then all of a sudden one day, I want to visit home from college. There's a dragon from the game on one of the mountains in Maryland, and she's like, why am I not, this is my character avatar, why am I dressed as a curvy goddess-like human with asthma in my avatar, and what's going on? So this is the Vitae Elangica is multiple things in the Myrna Annals Myrnaverse? In the greater pantheon of the game. It plays a crucial role, one that I did not realize was going to be as big as it is when I first read this 2 years ago, and oh boy. So, I rambled. If you made it this far, go ahead and leave me, let's go ahead and leave an emoji that's magical. I'll let you determine your inference of that, from which I implied. So, what are you doing this Rough Draft Challenge? I call my series for vlogging this month Writing Glimmers for a reason. What are you doing to not only bring glimmers into your daily life, but what are you also doing to, as part of your author, your writer, your creator legacy, leave a glimmer behind? I told you, you're writing what you're supposed to be writing right now for a reason, and I cheer you on for it. See you on a live stream soon.